Hello everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Belle Gonzales and this video is called In the Library, and this is actually inspired by Chanel's literary conversations, and I will be sharing with you my literary journey as an author and as a reader. As you all know, I am a writer and I have written books and poetry as well. So if you haven't checked it out, you can visit my official website. There is a link in this channel. I could devour an entire Agatha Christie novel in one sitting. That's the kind of reader I am. I did that when I was in high school. I remember I would sit in our terrace and I would read books all throughout the day for as long as I could finish the entire Agatha Christie's novel. Luckily, at the time, I don't have to do any chores, and so I had the luxury of time to just sit and read Agatha Christie's or any books that I've had that time. Yes, I do. But right now, since we just got back from abroad, I am yet to build a new library for our new house because when we left the Middle East, I've had to give up my entire book collection. I donated it to charity because I didn't want to bring weight to our luggage. Stephanie Meyer, the author of the Twilight Saga, I was very surprised by her writing style. It was probably my fault because at the time I already had a preconceived idea on what the book is gonna be like because I already watched the movie, and so in my mind I thought, oh, it's probably just another chick lit. But then when I read her books, I was very surprised. I find her writing style to be crisp and surprisingly easy for me to regurgitate. Maybe to some people, or it probably depends upon the kind of theme or topic of book that you're reading. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm not really after any comfort. I want something that could make me think, thought provoking, mystery loving, detective fiction. Those are the types of books that I love to read. That's why I fell in love with Agatha Christie in the first place. Honestly, none. Because I don't regret throwing away Daniel Steele when I was in high school. The moment I discovered Agatha Christie, I was like, why am I wasting my time reading Daniel Steele when I have an entire world of Agatha Christie that is far more exciting? I never regret my decision. Actually, there is a book that I was reading before I left the Middle East. It was Sycamore Row by John Grisham. I was reading it, but then it got tangled up with the time when we were moving from one country to another. So my schedule at that time became hectic. I've had to put it aside, and now I'm planning to go back to it again, and perhaps if I find an opportunity, a quiet time for myself to read, I'm gonna do it very well. I love to collect used and old books, and my love for that started out when I was in high school. Of course, at the time the budget was very, very limited, and so I've had to find a way on how to collect Agatha Christie's novels. I would go to Robinson's Galleria or anywhere with used books. Luckily, at the time, there were some that is available. I love to collect old and used books because I find it more interesting. To me, used and old books are alive compared to the ones that are new. I find reading old and used books very exciting. I remember I would get books that still has names of the previous owners in it. Sometimes there were scribbles and notes within the pages, and I would imagine what kind of a person who used to own that books. I just like it. I love it. First would be The Alchemist Just because when I discovered The Alchemist, I was already in the Middle East, and I thought with the theme of the book or the setting of The Alchemist, which is also in the desert, it would be perfect to bring it there. Second would be any of Agatha Christie's novels. I've read almost all of Agatha Christie's novels, but there's still few I haven't read yet, and so I would love to read that. And for the third book, it would be any of John Grisham's novels. I also have read almost all of John Grisham's novels, and I would love to bring one of his books as well to a desert island. So there you have it, you guys. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, if you haven't checked out all of my paintings and all of my novels, you can visit my official website. There is a link in this channel.